What if I told you that one of the greatest rappers in history was once a poor little boy who had no stable home, no father by his side, and almost no one who believed in him? A child who was bullied at school, beaten by classmates, and told that he would never become anything. Yet, years later, that same boy would sell more than 200 million records and inspire millions of people around the world. How did a lonely child from the streets of Detroit become one of the greatest music legends of all time? This is the untold story of Eminem, the man who turned pain into power. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Universal English. Today, we bring you one of the most emotional and inspiring stories in the history of music. It is the story of a little boy who grew up surrounded by poverty, rejection, and heartbreak. Many people believed his life would end in failure. But he refused to let his past decide his future. Through determination, hard work, and an unbreakable spirit, he became one of the greatest rappers the world has ever known. His name is Eminem. This is the untold story of how an ordinary boy overcame impossible challenges and changed the music industry forever. A difficult beginning. Our story begins on October 17, 1972. A baby boy was born in St. Joseph, Missouri. His name was Marshall Bruce Mathers III. The world would later know him as Eminem. But life welcomed him with hardship. Before Marshall even learned to walk, his father left the family. He grew up without knowing what it felt like to have a father beside him. His mother, Debbie Mathers, tried to raise him alone. Life was never easy. Money was always short. The family moved from one place to another again and again. Sometimes they packed everything they owned into a few small bags. Sometimes they had no idea where they would live next. For young Marshall, there was no place that truly felt like home. A childhood full of fear. As Marshall grew older, life became even harder. Because his family moved so often, he was always the new child in school. Making friends was difficult. Many classmates made fun of him. Some bullied him every single day. Instead of finding kindness, he often found fear. One day, the bullying became so violent that another student attacked him. Marshall was seriously injured. He suffered a severe head injury and spent several days in the hospital. Doctors were worried. His family was terrified. Thankfully, he survived. But the emotional scars remained for many years. That painful experience changed him forever. He became quieter. He trusted people less. But deep inside, a small fire continued to burn. He wanted a better life. Searching for hope. School never felt like a happy place. Marshall struggled with many subjects. He repeated grades more than once. Teachers often believed he had no future. Some people thought he would never achieve anything. But there was one subject he truly loved. Words. He enjoyed reading stories. He loved creating rhymes. He became fascinated by language. While other children spent their free time playing games, Marshall filled notebooks with words. Writing became his escape. When life became painful, he wrote. When he felt angry, he wrote. When he felt lonely, he wrote. Without realizing it, he was preparing for the future. Falling in love with rap. During the 1980s, hip-hop music was growing quickly in America. Marshall heard rap songs for the first time. Something changed inside him. The rhythm. The emotion. The storytelling. It felt different from every other type of music. Rap gave people a chance to tell the truth about their lives. Marshall listened carefully to every lyric. He studied every rhyme. Soon, he started writing his own. He practiced every day. Sometimes he stood alone in front of a mirror, repeating verses again and again. He wanted every word to sound perfect. He knew he was different. Most famous rappers at that time were black artists. Marshall was a white teenager trying to enter a world where very few people looked like him. Many people laughed at him. Some told him to quit. Others said he would never be accepted. But he refused to listen. A dream bigger than fear. Marshall believed one simple thing. Talent has no color. Hard work has no color. Dreams belong to everyone. Every day, he challenged himself to become better. He entered small rap battles. He competed against older and more experienced performers. Sometimes he lost. Sometimes the audience laughed. Sometimes he walked home feeling completely defeated. But every defeat became another lesson. Instead of giving up, he practiced even harder. He believed success belonged to those who never stopped improving. Life was still cruel. Even while chasing his dream, life remained difficult. Money problems never disappeared. There were days when paying bills felt impossible. Finding stable work was not easy. Marshall accepted small jobs just to survive. He worked long hours for very little money. At night, after finishing work, he continued writing songs. Most people would have been too tired. Marshall refused to stop. His dream mattered more than comfort. There were moments when he questioned everything. Was all this hard work worth it? Would anyone ever listen to his music? Would anyone believe in him? Still, he kept writing. Because hope was the only thing nobody could take away from him. The birth of Eminem. As Marshall continued performing, he created a stage name. He combined the first letters of his initials, Eminem. Eventually, it became Eminem. The new name represented a new beginning. It gave him confidence. People slowly started noticing his incredible ability to rhyme. His words were fast. His emotions felt real. His performances were unforgettable. But talent alone was not enough. The music industry remained difficult to enter. Record companies rejected him. Opportunities disappeared. Success still seemed far away. Yet Eminem refused to stop believing. A father's promise. During these difficult years, another important moment changed his life. Marshall became a father. His daughter, Haley, was born. Everything changed. She became the most important person in his life. Looking at his little daughter, Eminem made himself a promise. She would never experience the same childhood he had lived. He wanted to give her safety, a home, a better future. That promise gave him even more determination. He was no longer fighting only for himself. He was fighting for his family. Every song he wrote carried that purpose. Every performance brought him one step closer to changing their lives forever. Refusing to give up. Many successful people stop after their first failure. Eminem never did. When one door closed, he searched for another. When people rejected him, he worked harder. When life knocked him down, he stood up again. His journey proved that success is not about avoiding failure. It is about refusing to stay on the ground. Little by little, people in Detroit began talking about the young rapper with extraordinary talent. Music producers started hearing his name. Fans began remembering his performances. Something incredible was about to happen. The poor boy who had spent his childhood searching for hope was finally standing at the edge of the opportunity that could change his life forever. But his greatest challenges and his greatest victories were still waiting ahead. Everything changed in the late 1990s. For years, Eminem had been fighting against rejection. He had been told he was not good enough. He had been told that the music industry had no place for him. But destiny was quietly preparing the biggest opportunity of his life. One day, Eminem entered the Rap Olympics, a famous rap competition in Los Angeles. He did not win first place. But something much more important happened. His incredible performance caught the attention of people inside the music industry. A copy of his demo eventually reached one of the greatest producers in hip-hop history, Dr. Dre. When Dr. Dre listened to Eminem's music, he was shocked. He had never heard anyone rap with such speed, emotion, and honesty. He immediately wanted to meet him. For Eminem, it felt unbelievable. The man he admired was now offering him a chance. Sometimes, one opportunity can change an entire life. The beginning of a new life. Dr. Dre believed in Eminem when many others did not. Together, they began working on music. In 1999, Eminem released the Slim Shady LP. The album became a huge success. Millions of people listened to his songs. For the first time in his life, the poor boy from Detroit was being heard around the world. Soon afterward, awards began arriving. Fans grew into millions. Concerts became larger. His dream was finally becoming reality. But success brought new challenges. The world now watched his every move. Every interview became news. Every song created discussion. Fame is exciting. But fame can also be very lonely. Becoming the biggest rap star, Eminem continued working harder than ever. He released the Marshall Mathers LP. Then came the Eminem Show. Each album became another worldwide success. His songs reached the top of music charts across the globe. He won Grammy Awards. He sold millions of records. People from every country memorized his lyrics. Even those who did not speak English admired his passion and storytelling. His concerts filled enormous stadiums. His music connected with people who had experienced pain, loneliness, or rejection. Many fans believed Eminem understood them better than anyone else, because he had lived through similar struggles himself. His story was becoming their story. A Hollywood success. In 2002, Eminem surprised the world once again. He starred in the movie 8 Mile. The film told the story of a young rapper trying to escape poverty. Many parts of the movie reflected Eminem's own life. The audience loved it. Then came the unforgettable song Lose Yourself. The song inspired millions of people around the world. Its message was simple. Never waste your opportunity. Never stop believing. The song became one of the greatest motivational songs ever created. It even won an Academy Award for Best Original Song. A boy who once struggled to survive had now reached Hollywood's biggest stage. The battle nobody could see. Although the world saw success, fame, and money, Eminem was fighting another battle. The pressure of fame became overwhelming. He worked constantly. He hardly rested. Slowly, he became dependent on prescription drugs. At first, he believed they helped him. But soon, they began controlling his life. His health became worse. His career slowed down. Friends became worried. His family became worried. Then one day, tragedy almost happened. Eminem suffered a serious drug overdose. Doctors later said that he came frighteningly close to losing his life. For a moment, everything he had built seemed ready to disappear. Choosing life again. That terrifying experience changed everything. Eminem realized he had another choice to make. He could surrender. Or he could fight once again. Just as he had fought poverty. Just as he had fought bullying. Just as he had fought rejection. He chose to fight. Recovery was not easy. Every day became another challenge. But step by step, he rebuilt his life. He exercised. He focused on his health. He returned to writing music. Most importantly, he became present for his daughter. His greatest victory was no longer breaking records. It was rebuilding himself. Rising once more. Many people believed Eminem's career was over. They thought he would never return. But legends never give up. He released new albums. He returned to the stage. Fans welcomed him back with love and respect. Millions admired not only his music, but also his courage. He proved that making mistakes does not define a person. What defines us is the decision to stand up again. That lesson inspired people far beyond the world of music. More than a rapper. Today, Eminem is remembered as one of the greatest rappers of all time. He has sold more than 200 million records. He has won countless awards. He has broken records across the music industry. But numbers alone cannot explain his success. His greatest achievement is the hope he gave to millions. He showed people that your past does not decide your future. A poor childhood does not destroy your dreams. Failure is never the end. As long as you continue moving forward, another chance is always waiting. A legacy that will never fade. Around the world, millions of young people still listen to Eminem's music. Many see their own struggles reflected in his story. Some are fighting poverty. Some are facing bullying. Some are living with loneliness. His journey reminds them that difficult beginnings do not prevent extraordinary endings. The frightened little boy from Missouri became one of the most influential artists in history. Not because life was easy, but because he refused to quit. Every great life teaches us something. Eminem's story teaches us that pain can become strength. Rejection can become motivation. Failure can become the first step towards success. He was not born into wealth. He did not receive special opportunities. He built everything through determination, discipline, and endless hard work. His life reminds us that no matter how dark today may seem, tomorrow can still be brighter. Sometimes the people who suffer the most become the ones who inspire the world the most. That is why Eminem's story will continue to inspire future generations. Not simply because he became famous, but because he never stopped believing in himself when nobody else did. Thank you for joining us on this inspiring journey through the untold story of Eminem. His life reminds us that our past does not define our future. No matter where you come from, no matter how many times life knocks you down, you always have the power to stand up and keep moving forward. If you enjoyed this story, please like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Universal English for more inspiring biographies and English learning stories. Until next time, keep learning, keep believing, and never stop chasing your dreams.